I think in the Paris example, the 5%, I think it is, they come in and say these 5 are perhaps the most important.
The 5% idea, yeah, absolutely. It's
and
great
then you have a certain identity, because you also need to have local ownership and identity, and otherwise it doesn't. Lisa, and then Ingrid. Yeah.
Just a kind of a quick reflection. Using the mayoral level, how do we ensure it's not political? Yeah, that some of the actions that we're looking at on the grassroots aren't just based on the political agendas. Because for me, solving some of the true social challenges have to be at the municipality level. Yes, the mayor has an overview, but the mayor also has a political agenda. Yeah, just a reflection. I don't know if it's worthy of a comment.
Could you just clarify what you mean by political? It's really hard for me sometimes to understand in the abstract. Is there an example you can give?
Yeah, if I think the mayor of Oslo, he obviously has a political connection, a political leaning, yeah? Then when we're talking about building sort of shared, this is nothing against the mayor of Oslo before I continue. Then when we're looking sort of as urbanization issues, will his political agenda then color and not enable him to truthfully see what's going on in a... Okay, I can see by the look on your face that you think that is the stupidest question in the world.
Oh, but, no, I don't at all. But what the nice thing about democratizing and also acting on information you get through open source information is that it actually takes it away from the political agenda. At the moment, we're just going through an election in London for the general election. And what's very upsetting for me is seeing this lurch, the story on the left and the story on the right. They're both very different. The people on the left paint the people on the right for being evil. They actually, almost. And the reality is that we're all good people, all wanting a great solution. And if we had our choice, we'd probably vote for the same coalition, because coalition of a left and right makes this wonderful center ground. And you can't get that often in pure politics, especially in our country, when it jumps one way or the other. And what I would like is more feedback from the general public that steers the ship through the center without us having to lurch one way or the other in that political way that you're talking about.
But I think we are moving in that direction, because we have this new app coming up. We have the campaigns or groups on Facebook. I mean, if is huge, you are lost as a mayor. You got to do something. You have on Twitter campaigns. There are more and more are coming that way, and that really takes it away from the democracy. It takes it to the crowd in a way that we can't really control. Yeah.
I love your question because it's very philosophical, so I'm going to answer philosophically. An Italian communist leader called Antonio Gramsci, who wrote a fabulous book, his journals, he has a quote that says, "Everything is politics." And he meant that every sort of decision, even if it seems quite objective, creates a universe of winners and losers. So let's imagine that you have a limited budget, you are the mayor, you have a map of problems in the city, and you know that certain segments of the city vote for your party or for you, and certain segments of the city will vote for your opponent. Do you prioritize problems of area A versus problems of area B? Probably, I would give, to be honest. But again, you win points by being transparent. If you do this, if you have transparency, then it's obvious that you're doing this. And you get the heat out of doing this. So I would say those sorts of, everything is political at the end of the day. Perhaps less, perhaps more, but as long as it's transparent, we're a step further than where we are today.
We're going to have to wrap up, so I'm going to give the very last question of today to Ingrid, which seems fitting somehow. Ingrid Stange, CEO of Partnership for Change.
Well, maybe I shouldn't come up with this question because it takes some time to explain, but I was thinking very practical, both to Kyriakos and to Citymart, or Novoville and Citymart. These are both social enterprises, and I guess we need social enterprises to get this lots of ideas coming up. how are you, could you just say very quickly, explain the business model that you have? Because you obviously need to have a sustainable financial model for this.
Well, in our case, we were addressing a country that is, well, visibly bankrupt. So even though we have European structural funds, which is, for us, it's like oil in Norway. Cities are taking 35% and regions of those grants, which is 20 billion in 6 years. So 1/3 of that goes to cities. We tried to tap a very small amount to go below the procurement level because we had this obscure law in Greece that if the mayor signs anything more than 15,000 euros per year, then you need to have a humongous bureaucracy of a public competition. And so we charged 10,000 euros to 12,000 euros for the bigger cities, even less for smaller cities as a beta version. And this was for the launch, and then 10% of that as a subscription fee. But this was for Greece, being lower. We hope to expand internationally, and we hope that those won't be our rates.
At Citymart, our clients are cities, so in general, cities pay us for the services. We also work with some philanthropy groups. We work with Rockefeller, we work with the Knight Foundation. The Knight Foundation have a model, they're paying percentage of a city's involvement with us, but they're making sure that the city also contributes to really make sure there's that commitment from the city as well. We're also looking into social bonds to work with Greece and Spain and Italy as well to kind of bring in a new model there as well.
And did you say you also said there was the city would pay you the percentage of the savings they made through the effect?
That's another model we're looking at as well, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's from innovative ways depending on where you are and which city you're in. Do any of you have any final comments, or shall we say that please take a copy of this, which is on each of the tables here. It's a special edition that's been made specially for this conference. So please take it. It is in Norwegian. You can take it anyway. And otherwise, just like to say, go change those cities. And thank you very much to you that are already doing so. Thank you very much.